so important to keep your children's minds sharp over the holiday break. Easier said than done. Heather Ballesteros from Mathnasium San Diego has 5 ways to help prevent the so-called, we're calling this the winter slide.
The winter slide, yes.
Good morning. Thanks for being here, Heather. Okay, tell me about what the problem is, because, you know, these kids have 2 weeks off and their minds just kind of, they drift.
Absolutely. It's so easy to fall into television and pajamas and eating all during the break.
Yeah.
But it's important to keep our kids' minds active as well.
You got to keep them engaged, and because you said the TV and then their iPads, and they can zone out if you don't keep them active. So we have 5 tips,
yes.
right? The first one is, this is an important one, obviously, read.
Yes.
You got to read.
Absolutely. There are so many awesome books that can keep our kids engaged with STEM, with science, engineering, and math. And it's a great time to connect with your kids and to really just show the importance of reading as well as a family.
That's great. You read together, you give them alone time to read, and it really develops. Okay, you also suggest to bring academic concepts to the real world through community service. Now that's a mouthful, and you can't tell kids, hey kids, we're going outside to have academic concepts, but you have to kind of disguise it in a way where they're actually learning while having fun.
Absolutely, and helping the community too.
Sure.
So, you know, a lot of people's New Year's resolutions would be to do things for their neighbors.
Right.
And a great way to do that would be to maybe have a bake sale, a lemonade stand. And the cool part about that is that you can be using math in the real world doing that. So you're measuring, you're counting money, all of those skills that they're learning in the classrooms, you're bringing to real life, actually in a good way, as a little business lesson, but also as a way to make some money to help for the community.
Sure, that's great, because then they say, well, what do I need algebra for? Well, you'll figure it out if you start doing things that require the math. Cooking, also helpful.
Cooking, yes. So
a lot of math in cooking too.
There's a lot of math in cooking, and tis the season for that. So it's great to have kids apply those fractions.
Yeah.
So how do we see 1/4 in action? How do we see converting measurements?
Right.
That is really a great way to spend time with kids, give them life skills,
Yeah.
as well as actually use some of those concepts they've learned in the classroom.
My daughter likes to do stuff in the kitchen. She's 8, and then she saw fractions. I was like, oh look, and then she's just learned denominator. She's like, what's the top number? Oh, the numerator.
Awesome.
So we're sitting there in the kitchen
Awesome.
talking about numerators and denominators.
It's amazing.
Like, oh, so proud. Okay, you can also take a trip, because that can be a fun learning experience as well.
It can. So trips can be stressful for parents. They can also be
yes, they can.
They can also be a bit boring for kids, but if you make it interactive, it's actually a great way to do some math. So take a look at those license plates. For our younger kids, maybe grab a little whiteboard, inexpensive way for them to be able to do something hands-on. They can write down the numbers they see and add them together.
Well, that's cool.
If you have older kids that are 3rd grade and up, they can start multiplying.
Oh.
And it's also kind of a neat little gauge for parents too. If they see that the kids are struggling with those multiplication skills, now's a good time to get a gauge on that, and you can refocus before they head back to the school year.
You can turn it into a game, and they're learning.
Absolutely.
If you plan to go somewhere, it's about making holiday travel also educational, which is, it's not that hard. If you put a little bit of effort, it's not that hard, because kids naturally will, I mean, part of going somewhere new and traveling is you learn something.
Absolutely.
You're observing.
Absolutely. And even traveling right here in San Diego, whether or not you're abroad or right here at home. If you're going to the zoo, for example, learn about what the zoo offers, learn about the animals, and also about the jobs that are related to those fields of the people that are working there at the zoo.
I love that. Great advice. By the way, number 3 here was cooking, so shout out to your husband. I'm very jealous. He's Cuban, and he made the lechon for Nochebuena. I'm very jealous.
He did. It was delicious.
Oh my God. Yes. Shout out to that dude. What's his name?
Gene Ballesteros.
Gene, what's up? Teach me how to, I never learn. I just go and buy it.
No, not the same.
Heather, thank you so much with Mathnasium. We appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.